Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to VR Master League with another episode of the Echo Arena Conquest series. Tonight's matchup is Tint versus Space Force. With me in the caster's booth is myself, Daniel McFabulous, and Akady. Akady, how you feeling tonight about this matchup?
Well, this is going to be an interesting matchup as we are seeing one team play for the first time here. If I'm not mistaken, there is no team, or Tint for short. They're playing in their first game, which is an elimination game against Space Force. Due to some unfortunate events that happened for Tint, their first game will be an elimination game. But Space Force, of course, just barely losing their last game against High Voltage by 1 point within the last couple seconds of the game. So it's going to be a really close one here, as both teams are very similar in the standings as well, in the VRML standings. And so I'm just very excited to get this game going and see how it's going to end.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, Tint's first game just was an unstreamed game, so we didn't really get to see the events unfold for that, right. Unfortunately. Right. So it's not their first, but it's definitely their first on stream. So let's see for them if the first stream will be their last, or will they fight hard and move on to the next round? We shall see. And it sounds like we have both teams readied up to start this game. We now start the first quarter. Anyone that might be watching that could be new, this is 4 quarters versus the standard best of 3 10-minute rounds. And we have Trespass in there in the chat, ready to answer any questions, comments, things like that.
And Tint will get that first possession off the Joust, but having a weird bounce off the Joust, probably losing the disc just out of their hand. It gets down to their own end from Space Force, and they're going to try to clear it back down towards the Space Force, and maybe going for a shot here, but just missing off of the bottom trench, and disc is now loose up in the top corner.
Getting recollected by Anime, trying to clear it, but White Dragon there ready to intercept with a quick pass down to Rad Nathan, then right up to Latos. Tint getting their team together. Great pass over to Guygasm. Excellent passes here from Tint. As I say that, of course, it does get intercepted and flung downfield to Tint's bubble.
And now looking for possession back is Guygasm. He's going to grab the disc and throw it down towards Nathan, who's going to get it midway through the field, throw it all the way back down to the other end. And it's a race for the disc here. And Guygasm's going to get to it first, as his teammate was able to punch the Space Force player to give Guygasm the opportunity to put that disc in the net.
Yeah, that was a great, really fast boost from Tint down there to get that loose disc there. Early start for them, just over a minute for those 2 points. 13.5 minutes left. Joust advantage to Space Force.
Great passing here to start off this offensive joust here by Space Force, coming in the 4th pass, and it's going to be a good one to Mooney, who's going to put it in to tie it up right after the first goal of the game here. And great passing that was, from the quarterback to the tunnel to below the net, then to the shield. Every player on the team was involved in that play, and I love to see that every single time.
Me too. Always good to see that teamwork. Always interesting to see Mooney down scoring the goal instead of being in their goal. Like you said, great to see everyone being involved in the play. Great choice too by Space Force to close that gap nice and early, bringing us back to a tied game.
Great interception there by Ender Slot, able to get the disc back down to the Tint zone, and able to recover that. It will be Anime. He's taking a little bit of a stride there to get away from the other player. White Dragon able to recover it though, and he will get the clear back down to the other end. Another example of, we're seeing a lot more just clear game towards, or I guess you could say, clear game in the Echo Arena Conquest series recently, as both teams are kind of trying to get goals a little quicker. Rather than taking their time. But there are some other teams who are really taking their time, and a great shot there by Enderslot, but an even better save by Rad Nathan, developer for the game. Incredible save by him, and an opportunity given to his team from that save. White Dragon able to put it in to gain back the lead here by now 3 points.
3 points with just under 12 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Just advantage will be to Space Force. Will they act just as quick as last time and bing bang boom tied up again? We shall see. There's a bing quick pass. Ooh, went for the boom, but it got intercepted by Guygasm, trying to take this double point. Oh, no, they want that bing bang boom. Pyro taking that disc back. Got it sub a couple attackers boosting very quickly, putting it back into the hands of Godgasm, but quickly by Anime. Anime putting it in for 2.
That disc was in the hands of Space Force, then it was in the hands of Tint, back to Space Force, back to Tint, back to Space Force, but Anime, being that last person to grab the disc, is able to throw it in the net at the last second there.
Wasn't quite the big bang boom maybe they were hoping for, but they still got it. They still got 2. They still got that extra goal in there to close that gap down to only 1 point. And now the disc is up for grabs in the middle of the arena.
And now it's going to be Rad Nathan able to grab it, passing it up to Late Toast. He's in front of the net. He's going to put it in. Great little observation there by Nathan P to be able to get the disc over to Toast, who was on his way to the slot, and he was able to stuff that in the net to increase their lead back to 3 early in this game.
Definitely a back and forth game thus far. It's now just coming down to a matter of who's getting the 3-pointers and when to kind of tip the scales in their favor.
Space Force on another offensive joust here with their disc possession, obviously. Taking it a little slower, probably resetting the disc before they can get the last pass in, but Late Toast able to intercept it, but hitting the disc off of the shield on the attempt to clear. Doesn't quite get it down, but Nathan's going to be able to slap it down to the other side, and Guygasm able to finish off the job and getting it all the way down to their end, but intercepted here by Mooney, who, as we know, likes to stay behind a little bit sometimes, and that, you know, proved a good strategy against high voltage, but you know, towards the end it didn't prove as good as it cost them a little bit in the offensive zone.
Oh, indeed. And speaking of that match against high voltage, I'm sure Space Force is definitely ready to come back and win this one after being in the lead for 57 minutes of game time, basically, and then getting that win taken from them in the last 3 minutes, I'm sure. So, I mean, with them being behind right now, they will at least be confident knowing that 3 points is nothing to be behind by.
And that's what we've been saying all series, Dano. It's been literally just... This score means nothing. This score means nothing until the last quarter. But, you know, of course, you can't let up the entire way either, because both teams are able to score just as Late Toast is right there from behind the net with a great pass, might I add, from around half court to the back of the net. And he's able to put that in. Increase lead once again. But like you were saying, you know, leads like... I'd say under 20 are, you know, practically nothing, especially this early into the game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like you said, especially this early into the game, 20 points is really nothing. I mean, as long as it hasn't been a mercy, you know, if you're 34 points behind, you can make that in 15 minutes. You really can. And just like Enderslot can make that 3-point shot, bringing Space Force to 7 points, only behind by 2.
You know, one thing I've kind of been noticing throughout these games is that it's the scoring kind of going back and forth is very similar, oddly enough, to volleyball. If anyone knows or has played volleyball before, I have played volleyball in high school, and it's very similar to the fact of like points can go back and forth at times. And if you keep that 2-point lead in volleyball, you know, you can go all the way to 25 points, which is, you know, what you have to get to, and keep that 2-point lead the whole game. It's proven that you're dominant throughout that entire set. Whereas in here, in this Conquest series, you could, like we've seen in other games, it's been a 3-point, 5-point at max differential throughout the entire match. But, you know, the team that's kept that differential the entire match was able to keep it at the end. Mm-hmm. And that it's very similar playstyle. I'm just noticing that now. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm very curious to continue to see strategies and whatnot evolve in this series as it continues, because we haven't really seen a solid trend yet, I wouldn't say. But I'm very curious to see if any teams might try the strategy of first 2 quarters just kind of taking it chill, kind of resting to really push hard in the second half when the other team is tired. Of course, while getting a few points in there.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't let up too early, because, you know, if you know, you take it too easy, of course, the other team will definitely take advantage of that and gain a big enough lead that it might be difficult for the other team to come back afterwards.
Oh, for sure. It's finding that balance of just kind of not exhausting yourself in the beginning. Especially if you can not exhaust yourself and maintain yourself within, you know, 3 to 5 points, even 7 points of the other team, Oh, I had to pause in case that went in. You're doing a pretty good job, especially if you're conserving energy. But if you're exerting all of your energy to maintain a 3 to 5 point lead, it could be danger for you in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, this makes me skeptical of whether or not I'd be able to play a full 60 minutes. As you know, sometimes throughout the normal VRML matches, I get pretty tired. But that's with the full fact of going all out the entire time. So who knows? Maybe if I am able to adjust my focus on where I put my energy, whether it's in the shooting or the passing, it could be a completely different story. But I guess I'd have to test it out myself.
Indeed. Anime for life now. Look for that pass over to Pyro. Pyro under the goal, spinning around, but getting punched out by Guygasm. Guygasm taking that disc, getting it out of there, preventing Space Force from closing that gap a little more, but misses that bounce. It's going to be a race for the disc now. It looks like it's... Oh, it was Pyro, but quickly stunned out. Stolen by Nathan, who's going to pass the disc back for a reset to White Dragon, who goes for that quick pass right back, but just missing, putting it into the hands of Mooney, who taps it into the top pocket.
Just barely hanging in there, but it will get slapped down to the other side. But looks like Guygasm was waiting for it, but misread it just barely. But Nathan able to get back fast, along with Late Toast, to get that disc back to the other end as quickly as possible.
Enderslot picking the disc up, ducking out his quick attackers, getting a beautiful pass to Anime over in the left tunnel, going for that shot off the ceiling perhaps, but just not bouncing in the right spot, going off the barrier, leaving the disc up for grabs, getting it flinged to midfield, where it's going to be picked up by Anime for Space Force. Great pass to Enderslot, but a great stun by Guygasm, again playing that strong defense.
Both teams have some decent defense here going on, especially given the Space Force. They've got Mooney on the back end, which is always good to know. And he was a great help for them, especially against high voltage. And as a whole, Tint has a great defensive team, and they work well together in that back line.
There was that back line again. White Dragon over to Late Toast. Late Toast going with that pass to Guygasm. You can see Guygasm reaching for it, just going over his fingertips. Now Anime making that clear down, getting it through midfield as it makes its way down to Tint's bubble.
Another one of those moments where the disc is just kind of floating in the middle of space. It looks like Tint will get it and throw it back down to the other end, taking an odd bounce off of the bow tie, maybe giving an opportunity here for Tint to recover the disc within the offensive zone. Looks like they will. Looks like Late Toast will get it. It might just be a one-on-one opportunity here, but it looks like coming in behind is the defenders, but passing over to the right side of Guygasm, but he gets punched out by Pyro. Pyro can't reach the disc. It looks like White Dragon's going to pass it up off the roof over to Nathan. Nathan's going to hit it off the back geometry, off the backboard in the net. What an amazing play with a little bit of luck there for Tint. Space Force will have to come back quickly off that one.
There's a great bounce off the geometry of the backboard. Those can be tricky spots. If you don't hit that angled spot in the right spot, it's going to bounce in a completely different direction. But we know with the practice that these players have. Ooh, great stun and shot by White Dragon as he throws his hands in the air in celebration.
I don't even think he stunned him there. I think he just stole the disc right out of his hands and put it in the net.
He did indeed. As I watched the replay there, he just, no stun. Wow. All right.
That's even more impressive.
Is Space Force going to quickly throw it this time, thinking they're going to do it again, or will they hold on to it? Ooh. They went for that pass or whatnot. At least they went to throw it downfield, but unfortunately found the other team, who was stunned out just moments too late as they threw that disc.
One thing I'm noticing right now is Tint is really, really quick. They're getting to the disc faster than Space Force, and that's something that Space Force has to adjust to. And we've seen them get to the disc quickly before, but we've also seen it in scenarios where they would they would have little, a couple minutes where they're not as quick to the disc, but there's times where they'd go on a streak of just getting to the disc first before everyone else. So it's right now you can tell Space Force is in that mode of just maybe not getting to disc as fast. And Tint is taking advantage of that with their speed.
Definitely, if you can take advantage of that like they are doing for sure. It is only the first quarter, lots of time to adjust. They'll have that 1 minute shortly to discuss their strategy, how teams are going to change up their play. Both Space Force and Tint. Oh, going for the open goal shot. 3 points from Anime.
much needed 3 points there, as you know, momentum is a big thing in this game, and you know, to be able to start that momentum with just over a minute 30 left in this quarter, might be able to get you know, possibly a tie, or even just get even closer to a tie to end this first quarter and to move on to the second one with a fresh slate.
Starting with a great pass to the tunnel. Going for a pass down to Late Toast, but bouncing off the floor. Still recovered by Late Toast. Late Toast moving in towards the bubble, going for that pass back to the bow tie to White Dragon. White Dragon going for the shot, but just missing the top pocket of the goal as Pyro clears it down to midfield.
A great little quick play there by Pyro. It is always a good choice sometimes to bounce it off the roof or the floor if you're in a panic in your own zone. You don't really know what to do with the disc because, you know, it could bounce off stuff and it's unpredictable for the other team to grab it just straight from that. But, you know, other times it can be costly if they have someone waiting behind to recover the disc or to hit a reset.
Oh, such a close shot from Guygasm there for that. Trying to get that 3-point in there at the end, but it's going to go back into the hands of Space Force. But White Dragon getting that intercept, going for that 3-point shot from 28 meters away, and he will sink it.
Had a big mistake there by Space Force, as they were that might cost them a little bit later if they continue to do it. They were able to recover the disc in their own end, but just did not take their time to be able to get the clear off properly, and they were not taking a look towards the middle where it was intercepted by Tint, and they were able to get that shot off because it was an open goal.
And that will conclude our first quarter. 19-10 for Tint at the end of the first quarter. We'll flip you over to the scoreboard here so we can have a quick look-see. Looking at There Is No Team, we have 4 points apiece to Guygasm and Late Toast. Sorry, that I just realized 9 points to White Dragon with the point lead, and Rad Nathan with 2 points. Rad Nathan with 3 assists and 2 to White Dragon. Saves, we have 2 apiece to Late Toast and Rad Nathan. 3 steals to Guygasm, and stuns across the board.
You know, if we're looking at possession time here, currently it's very close, as it's about, you know, it's almost a 50-50 here between the two. So it's obviously not necessarily a possession time game, but it's definitely, you know, possibly an accuracy and a defense game here, like shot accuracy on getting the goals, but defense on stopping those goals, as shots are very even as well.
I just noticed there that for some reason Pyro is missing from Space Force stats. Everyone else is there. Well, that's not okay, but we'll have to look into that. Now the teams are ready for the second quarter. We are ready to get underway. Tunnels are open, teams are out, and it will be Guygasm with the disc. With a max speed of 31.6 meters per second on that joust. They were flying.
Of course, cut back down to 4.7 as he grabbed the disc. It's almost like hitting a wall, isn't it?
It's like, yeah, like good like hydraulic brakes, air brakes. I don't know whatever the strongest brakes are, but those ones, magnetic brakes, those might be stronger.
No, the ones, yeah.
Oh, all right. We have Late Toast with the disc for Tint, down to Rad Nathan. Rad gets stunned out. Pyro grabbing that disc, flinging it downfield to clear right down to the bubble. If it bounces in the right spot, oh, ever so close for that 3-pointer.
That was just barely off the side there, as it was gonna, if of course Tint was not fast enough to get down to the other end, and Space Force was able to stun them out for quite a while, it would have hit off the shield and probably in the net, but of course Tint with their speed were able to get back in loads of time, and it is cleared back down to the Tint zone as we had a little bit of time, and looks like Space Force getting their speed back here, all 3 of the offense, and their Mooney getting the goal, probably coming down from the other end.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to leave goal, join his team, and they had some good boosts, a little bit just slightly faster than Tint, and they got there just in the nick of time to close that score gap to only 7 points. And hello to It's YOLO Man in the Twitch chat. Thank you for joining us.
Nathan now with the disc, looking for a pass out front, but it's going to bounce off the bottom there. He's going to recover the disc up top, giving it over the ender slot by accident. He's going to... I'm not even... I have a gut feeling he just had his grip button on and the disc just kind of went in his hands there. I'm not too sure, but he was trying to clear it down, but Guygasm was going to recover it and keep it in the offensive zone and passing it over to Late Toast on the right side. He's going to go for the cross over to White Dragon, but an incredible save there by Mooney.
Mooney with those saves, like when they go save it that again. Sometimes these Echo bots, it's almost like they look like they're surprised when really they're probably not, but just with how animated the characters are, just they catch the disc and oh so quickly throw it. It's almost like they're surprised they caught it sometimes. But they caught it nonetheless.
I know I am when I catch one. Oh.
Ooh, he definitely wound up for that shot. Oh, bouncing off the board. That could be dangerous, but Mooney will recollect it and get that disc back out of the bubble.
And White Dragon able to pass it down towards Nathan. He's going to have to chase it though, and will grab it once again, giving it to Late Toast. Late Toast is going to pass it over to the right side of Guygasm. He's going to move in with the disc in towards the bubble off the post, looking for a pass behind. Might go for the backboard, but it's going to go to White Dragon. He's going to intercept the pass, or possibly the shot. Maybe it was a pass, maybe it was a shot, I'm not too sure, but it was off the backboard anyway, and he was able to grab the disc and put it in for 2.
Yes, that's one of those moments where you're not too sure whether it was meant to be a pass or shot. And it sounds like we have a timeout called.
I believe.
We will get that timeout timer on screen. We have a defector. Someone's on the other side.
Oh, maybe.
Nah, I imagine with the in-game comms, they switch teams to communicate just to...
Oh, I see.
As we can see here on stream.
I thought Tint lost a player. I thought that's what was going on.
Maybe they have a defector. It's a defector. They're switching sides.
I'm going to try to listen in here, see what's going on.
The Twitch stream is watching with no audio, and they're just putting their hands up like, I don't know. This footage, I love this footage. When you can tell they're talking, you don't know what they're saying. It's like that locker room footage almost. Like behind the scenes, kind of. But yeah, it looks like we have the players. There could be an audio issue. There could be video issues. We have no idea. We have YOLO Man in the Twitch chat saying, nah, it's 5v3 time. I mean...
I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, we do now have one player missing. We now have 5 players on one side, 2 on another. Let's go check out the other side. Fly with me, Twitch audience. Let's go take a look.
I believe we have who is it there? Whoever just left the match is restarting their headset, I believe.
Gotcha.
It would have been some technical.
That'd be Pyro
issues
Polar Bear.
But you know, they do have the 5 minutes to hit the unpause button. We're only at the 2-minute mark, so we have lots of time here for them to get back in the game.
I wonder if that has something to do with Pyro's stats not showing. Doesn't really make sense that it would, but hey, technology has done weirder things.
I'm still trying to get a final word on what exactly is going on, but it's difficult to tell.
I'm sure these players are using their time response, but as we said, it makes sense that someone is restarting. But again, with esports, that is why we do have these timeouts to allow for this.
It's difficult to hear you. I'm trying to hear what's going on in here.
How is everyone who may be watching this evening? Ooh, it looks like we have Pyro Polar Bear back.
I'm pausing.
And no, I use an Xbox controller.
8, 7,
Oh,
6,
And the
back.
countdown timer is underway.
Space Force with that just advantage, getting it down towards the other end. Guygasm able to intercept though at the bottom trench there, trying to get it down to the other end. It's going to float for a second there. Then White Dragon's going to grab it and try to get it off the top of the arena, trying to put it towards the net, but doesn't get it quite there. Trying to possibly pass or reset it there is Tint trying to get it, but no, it's going to be Enderslot who's going to get that disc out in the bottom corner.
Ooh,
just going back and forth a bit here right now is the disc.
That bounce was definitely an unfortunate one for Space Force, putting it back into the hands of Tint, but getting that stolen right back by Enderslot, getting it cleared downfield. If Space Force can get that boost down, they might have a chance to close that gap a little more.
Brad Nathan here just taking his time, resetting the disc. They know they have a little bit of a lead here, so they're going to take a little bit more time, maybe conserve a bit more energy when they recover the disc, and they know they have time to take their time. And Mooney thinking he probably had someone behind him, but maybe some miscommunication there as this. Oh, a great save there by Mooney to recover that little... Whoa, wow. It looked like something was about to happen, but it seemed as though they got the clear off.
Yes, one of those moments we thought, oh, could there be something here off the ceiling? Not quite. Nathan grabbing that disc to clear it back downfield, but Anime ready to intercept with a stun right behind him. Pyro going for that shot for 3 points, and he makes it.
Pyro able to recognize that Anime was out of commission there for a little bit as he was stunned out, grabbing the disc out of the way. It was almost Guygasm almost was able to grab that disc, but just not quite, as he was floating by and was able to see the open net as the goalie was not in his net quite yet, and was able to put that in for 3.
Well, I just made the one. Oh, wait, I'll save that thought. Oh, great pass back. See, I just made my one mistake of not removing the timeout screen, so it was just sitting on 0-0. Oh, you can see the disappointment in Mooney there, shaking his hands in disbelief as he was stunned. Just came out of that stun just a fraction of a second too late.
Yeah, and that's one thing about goaltending. Sometimes you just barely are out of position. Your body, it could be in the plane of, or how would you call that? I guess the goal line. And when you grab the disc, it ends up going in the net, and in the net it goes once again for Team Tint. There is no team, I guess. And they're able to extend the lead now to 11. I believe once again, I think it was 11 before as well.
I think so. And that is the second time we've seen There Is No Team do that really fast joust. It's almost like they just kind of save that and do it once in a while. They kind of let the team kind of relax a bit, then bam, they strike fast.
Which could be a good thing instead of, going out that fast, Oh, this might be an interesting shot here. Oh, okay. That just went in from backhanded from the top corner of the upper side of the trap there. That would have been a very interesting goal, but it was captured there by Tint.
Anime with the disc now. Space Force moving in. Ooh, but Guygasm with a great read and stopping that potential cut pass and getting that disc cleared down to Space Force side of the arena, leaving it up for grabs. And it looks like it will be Mooney from out of the goal, lunging forward, grabbing that disc and throwing it down to his teammates, just missing, allowing that to be picked up by White Dragon.
And he's going to try to get it down to his teammate Late Toast now on the left side. Usually on the right side, but he's on the left this time. Going to try to get it down for possibly a shot or a pass, but getting eventually to Rad Nathan. Back to Late Toast on the left side. Looking for the pass towards the middle here is Toast over to Gasm, but he's going to give it down back to Toast. Not being able to recover the disc, but oh no, he will get the disc actually. Passing it to Nathan out front, and Nathan just missing the net there. A great opportunity for Tint to extend their lead by even more.
Ooh, disc going down. Ooh, by Dragon there. That was an opportunity for them to save it into the hands of Enderslot. Enderslot going for that 3-point shot, just going to the right of the goal into the hands of Rad Nathan, who's going to clear it down. But Mooney, as usual, ready to collect that backline intercept. It looks like he was just waving it in front of the
great
opponent.
Intentional pass. I was looking from the point of view. That was a great bounce off of the, you know, probably one of the most unpredictable pieces of geometry, which is the tunnels. He was able to hit that off and get the pass exactly where he wanted it to go there.
Dragging in that pass down to Nathan. Ooh, and it looks like he might have dropped it when he went to throw it, but he still was able to recollect it and put it in for 2 points.
It seemed as though both players from both teams simultaneously grabbed the disc, but I guess it was the Tint player, which was Rad Nathan, able to technically get it second, which gave him a little bit of an advantage there in that little joust.
Joust advantage to Space Force. Great pass to Pyro to start off this offensive joust. Ooh, that was a great pass over just past Mooney into the hands of Latos, but Latos not seeing Pyro from behind. Pyro with an open goal shot. He's going to make the shot, and he's going to get it for 3 points, closing that gap down to 10 points.
Those 3 points are always super, super important, as you know, it's a golden opportunity to get, you know, a much easier shot than you normally would see, especially because the goalie is out of commission, or not out of commission, but just not in the net. It's very, very important to make sure you get those shots every single time, and he did just there.
Ooh. Great pass and a great stun, but Team Tint was able to collect it, but have it quickly stolen by Anime. Anime noticing the goalie was ready. Ooh, and Guygasm jumping out to steal that disc, but it still gets put back into the hands of Enderslot, going one-on-one with the goalie, but Nathan boosting in from the left like a ninja, stealing the disc from his hand.
It looked like he was going for the pass there off to the left side for a quick, you know, one-timer, but he was able to, or I believe the Tint players there got there just as fast. So it might be a one-on-one scenario here, and it will be Pyro able to put it in the goal here in the one-on-one scenario, as the Tint defender there just could not reach his little toes.
Only an 8-point differential now. Space Force slowly but surely closing that gap with only just over 4 minutes left in this first half.
Interesting rollout. Never mind. I did not see the pair up between Rad Nathan and Late Toast even come out. It was that fast.
That was a great rollout. They almost pulled it off successfully, but their defense from Space Force did not allow it.
Chintos have been showing speed all game, and they have continued to show it throughout this second quarter. It's been a great advantage for them to be able to have that consistent speed and consistent boosting ability together as a team. As we can see here now, White Dragon and I believe that's Guygasm able to stop mid-field, knowing that the disc direction changed. And they will get back down to their own end to recover the disc quickly. Oh, it might have been a panic. It just about went in the net there off of the backboard.
Ooh, that tap off the wall. Pyro trying to keep it in possession of Space Force. It worked very so momentarily, and now floating back down to Space Force side, where it's going to be Nathan picking it up, but quickly stolen by Anime, who now is unattacked in the tunnel. Pass over to Pyro. Pyro with another pass on over to... Got intercept by Guygasm.
Mooney in his position, able to get the disc off of a slap down to the other end with help of Pyro. He's going to get it down all the way to the other end, but looks like it's going to be Late Toast, but passing it off to Guygasm is going to be able to get the disc and passing it back to Late Toast towards the net. Taking a little bit more time now. Here's Tint as they're passing the disc down towards instead of just clearing it, and they might pay off here, but it's going to just miss the net and go back. They might regain possession, but it looks like Anime is going to grab it and clear down the other end. No goalie in net. We'll see who gets the disc first here.
This could be another opportunity for Space Force to close that gap even more, and they will with a floating 2-point drift shot.
Quite the awkward drift shot it was, but in the sense of just the angle he had, it was quite the shot indeed, as he was able to recover the disc quickly, as they couldn't get to the disc right away, bouncing off the wall, and got the disc back when just 4 meters away, like you said, floating away, was able to get that in.
Only a 6-point differential now. Great clear by Tim, but Mooney back there ready to intercept and throw it away, just to be collected by Guygasm again. Down to Nathan under the goal. Beautiful execution by Tint for 2 points.
Always like to see it whenever you pull off a bounce shot perfectly just as you thought it was going to go on in your head. And that's what Rad Nathan was able to do just there.
Joust advantage to Space Force on the offensive Joust. Anime with the disc, taking his time, noticing he's not being attacked, goes for that pass just past his teammate, bouncing off the geometry into the hands of Guygasm, who's going to clear it back down, but we're going to have Mooney right there ready to strike and intercept as per usual, clearing it down to Tint's bubble where Anime was ready to get it, but Late Toast was just a little bit quicker.
And Late Toast getting that clear all the way down to the other side will be recovered possibly by Space Force, and yes they will, and passing it back down to Mooney towards the goal. He's going to take his time here for a minute, looking for another pass to get it out. Looks like both teams have now transitioned into a more passing down the field kind of tactic, as before they were both just kind of clearing it to the other end and racing for it.
Ooh, so close there, but Pyro's going to get that intercept from the back line, passing it to Ender, who looks like he was already kind of headed back in their direction, so not able to change direction and get that pass. But Mooney ready to intercept and keep the disc on Tint's side as much as he can.
Just 10 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Might be a quick opportunity for Tint, but Mooney's going to grab it, clear it down to the other end. That should do it for this first half in this elimination matchup between There Is No Team and Space Force. There Is No Team in the lead right now by 8 points by a score 30-22.
Yes, that was a great first half. Great to see Space Force closing that gap in this second quarter and not really allowing There Is No Team too many more points as well. Great game so far. This should be a great second half. Only an 8-point differential. You know, we do have an 8-minute halftime starting now for those of us who might be new to this and not aware. After the second quarter, we do have an 8-minute halftime. Give the team some time to cool down, re-strategize. Sometimes they pop in and say hello in Twitch chat. We don't know what's going to happen.
And getting a quick update here from the other VRML match going on. It has just recently finished between Ignite and Schlart team. Ignite taking the win, 1 second here, by a score of, let me double check here one last time, 43-8.
Ooh.
Just inputting the scores there now. So the winner of this game now will be moving on to play Schlart team in the next round. So now they have something to look forward to, which they may not know yet, as they are currently in game. But
they may find out soon
what's going on.
Quick look at the stats here. There Is No Team. Point leader is White Dragon with 14 points. We have Rad Nathan with 6 points. 4 apiece to Guygasm and Late Toast. Assists, we have 3 apiece to Rad Nathan and White Dragon. 2 assists to Guygasm. 4 saves to Rad Nathan. 2 to Late Toast and 1 to Guygasm. And a plethora of stuns across the board. Oh, look at that. We have some pyro stats, sort of, on Space Force side.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, so Pyro with -1 assists.
I don't know how that you do. He assisted the other team?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure, honestly. I'm going to assume the negatives are just, or the dashes possibly are just a little typo or mistake on the part of the bot, but so I'm assuming the number is the correct number, just the dash should be ignored.
Because the points are
points
correct
across the board for Space Force. You know, we've got Pyro with his 8, you know, pulling his weight, Anime with 7, you know, Ender Slot with 3, and, you know, Mooney, considering his play style, you know, staying back a bit, he's still getting that 4 points, assists across the board. Like, just overall, great team play here by both teams.
Indeed. So we have about 6 minutes left, just under 6 minutes for this halftime. So, you know, feel free to take this opportunity to grab a drink, grab a snack, make sure you're ready for the second half. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the Twitch chat. We will just put the stream on a quick intermission, and we will be back in about 6 minutes.
Trying hard not to bottle it up, but I'm scared of letting you down. Like a knot in the pit of my gut, moving up to my neck now. Running wild in my mind, what you're gonna say, what you're gonna think. Will you be disappointed in me? 'Cause I try so hard, and I fly, I'm scared. Will you ever forgive me? Understand, I'm lining up, I'm gonna take my shot. I'm doing the best I can. The best I can. Feeling like I may run out of luck. Need a boost in my ego. Losing speed and I need a duck, but I can't seem to let go. Running wild in my mind, are you gonna wait? If I lag behind, will you stop? Grab a hold of me. 'Cause I tried so hard, and I fly, but I'm scared.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get this second half underway as the teams have already unpaused the game. So we shall mosey on over here into the arena as we wait for their 1 minute spawn timer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the extra minute brought to you by Chaos or something. Just one little extra minute that we're gonna have to deal with, especially even in regular VRML with this new pause function. I think that's just something that happens.
I'm okay with it though.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to have that extra minute or so to make sure you're ready to go. And now we're about to get
that
going.
extra minute to avoid the headache of resetting the rules and all that stuff, and having to reset 2 or 3 times because you changed one rule and not the other. And
true enough.
All right. The countdown is done. The tunnels are open. Teams are off. And it will be Space Force with the initial possession.
Leave their first initial possession off the joust. And then, Tint recovering this, but almost losing it back to Space Force in a dangerous area. Anime is going to grab it in his own end, trying to get it down to the other side, making a pass towards Pyro. Pyro's going to miss the pass, but he's going to get over to Enderslot. He's going to go for the open 3, and he gets it. Early in this third quarter, cutting the lead back down to 5 points, which has been a little bit of time since we've seen 5 points throughout this game.
This is true. I was just going to say that early 3 points for Space Force is exactly what they needed to start the second half, to bring that point gap down to only 5 points with a full 14 minutes left in this third quarter.
And now it's going to be Tint with the disc, a little bit organized here. Getting punched out though by Enderslot. Anime is going to grab the disc and try to clear it down to the other end. We have some players on Tint. White Dragon able to recover it quickly though, along with Gygasm getting there, boosting to this very quickly and clearing it back down to the Space Force end. Rad now with the disc, passing it over to Late Toast, who's going to put it in for 2, saying, nope, we're not giving you the quick, I guess, couple points. We're going to cut you off right at 3.
I mean, at least there's 2, so Space Force still is up by 1 overall for this quarter. And now Joust advantage is with Space Force. Maybe they will see another one of their quick rollouts to close this gap even further.
A quick rollout it was, but it looks like they got the disc out quicker. But Gygasm's gonna grab the disc and not being pressured too much. But Mooney coming out of nowhere around the corner, able to punch him and get the disc out of his hands and back into his team's hands. Ender's gonna try to get it down, but hitting that middle block, sometimes when you try to make that clear, it's almost more narrow than a mail slot shot. And Tint able to recover the disc, going for a shot from outside the bubble, just missing. And it will be Mooney recovering a disc coming from a spot we don't usually see him coming from, especially when the disc is in the defensive zone like that.
But I mean, that's kind of a good on his part, taking different hiding spots, mixing it up on the other team so they don't get used to where you're hiding.
And then once again getting the clear down to the other end, hopefully getting his team the opportunity with the disc, and he does. Anime with an open goal, but he's gonna miss it as he's trying to go for the hook shot from below the net. It's gonna go straight up instead of up and around, but passing back to Anime is Ender, and he will get it to him. He'll just put it in for 2, giving him his goal that he clearly wanted from that hook shot.
Yeah, he went in for the solo attempt and then retried with the team attempt, and they still ended with the goal, bringing that back once again to a 5-point differential.
Quick clear here, interesting little joust or rollout here by Tint, but Anime for Life and Mooney, I believe, able to read that play and stay stacked behind at their own end and able to get it down to the other end. A good shot opportunity there for the Space Force, but hitting just off of the shield, getting possession back to Tint, and they'll get it back to the other end, but Space Force quickly recovering it back in their half.
That would have been a bounce mail slot shot. That would have been incredible. I was so excited for it to happen, but maybe next time. Rad Nathan now with the disc, passing over to Late Toast in the opposite tunnel. Late Toast going to pass it back, but bouncing off the walls. However, it looks like White Dragon will still have time to recover it. Tries to get a quick pass to Nathan, but maybe just a little too quick as Nathan was not able to get it, and it was cleared out by Space Force.
And Space Force now with possession, going for a three-pointer here. Ender Slot taking his time, making sure that disc gets in the net as he knows there's no goalie in the net. And Space Force will take advantage of that to cut it back down to 2.
Yes, back to only 2 points. This is almost a brand new game again. We are almost back to what people refer to as just 0-0 when the score is tied, because essentially in this kind of game, that's really what it is once you're tied up.
Looks like White Dragon with the disc trying to get it down to his teammate, but will be intercepted here by Mooney. He's trying to get it out, but bouncing off of the... Do you consider that a wall?
Could be, I guess.
Kind of it's an angled wall, I guess, if anything. But luckily for Tint, who able to recover it inside the offensive zone. Going around the world here towards the other side, and it will finally get a clear, but bounce off of a quick block there, off another block, but successfully into the other side for Space Force, recovering the disc, but quickly stolen here by a team of 3, and Gaigasm will be able to get the disc back down to their offensive zone, and making a shot here off the backboard, and it will go in for 3. You lead now 5 points again.
5, the magical number 5. Plenty of time here, 9.5 minutes left. A joust advantage to Space Force. Ready to see what they do.
It looks like Tint just missing the boost as Rad Nathan, you know, like you say, there's even without the facial expression, there's many different, I guess, body language seen, and he just missed the re-grab and seemed very disappointed. And just a funny thing to see there from my part. A good opportunity here for Gaigasm, taking his time as it is an awkward spot to shoot from there. And he is able to get that disc in the net. Extend the lead now to 7 points.
Ooh. Looks like we have a timeout.
Ooh.
All right,
time. Strategic timeout.
Looks like we have all players at the moment. Oh, as I say that, we have a player drop from There Is No Team. Oh, no, they switched to the other side. Wow, that's the second time they've got me doing that. I'm assuming they're just communicating with what is going on. Now we have Pyro on Tint's side.
Can't decide.
Maybe they're doing this for a show for you viewers. I don't know.
or as NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman might say, we have a trade.
All right.
Imagine if we had trades in Echo Arena, a competitive Echo Arena with teams that were, had, more set rosters, and there were trades involved. Could you imagine?
Down the road, I'm sure that could happen. I truly see this game becoming a sport one day where teams are paid to play. Like, it'll be careers for some people to play this game. I truly believe that will happen. And when that happens, absolutely, you'll have roster stability. Then you can look at those kind of things, those trades, or even different game styles, like your relegation style, where you need that stability to make it work as good as it can.
And now it looks like Space Force going to keep the disc in the Tint zone, but Tint quickly slapping it out towards the other end, but not quite getting there. But now Dragon's going to be able to throw it down off that, like I was saying before, unpredictable geometry, which is the tubes. And Pyro able to clear it down to the other end off a bounce off the floor and getting it to his...
Ooh. I thought that was going to get saved with all those people in the goal, but luckily for Space Force, it went in for 2 points, bringing us back to 5 point difference.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The round has begun.
All right, great passing down to Rad Nathan. Rad Nathan up to Latos. Latos going in for a quick shot, getting 2 points on the board for Tint.
12, 11, 10.
Death Troller in the chat there asking how hard it is for cam and cast. It's practice. The camming really comes to all of it's practice. Really just pressing the buttons at the right time for your transitions, and yeah, keep an eye out for applications. I'm assuming they will go out at some point before the next season if that is something you might be interested in doing.
Teams now Tint with the disc, trying to get it over to his teammate is Rad Nathan getting it. Oh no, he has the disc now. He's gonna look for another pass out towards the middle, but Mooney's gonna intercept that, throw it down to the other end. And looks like Space Force will recover it, going for a shot here, but a big save by White Dragon in the net, as that will deny another cut down on the score, and possibly a shot here going just wide. And Space Force wiping the sweat off their foreheads, as that was a close one.
Ooh, Rad going below the goal, but Mooney doing what he does best, getting that close-up save.
Mooney has been doing well all game in net, as we've seen, and it's been apparent that some of these saves will make a huge difference in this final score. Unfortunately for him, though, just we can see with his reaction, he thinks he should have probably had it, and his hands were definitely there, but unfortunately for him, the disc was in the net before he could grab it, I guess you could say. There's not much else I can say there.
Space Force here with advantage. Great pass to the tunnel. Laser straight pass straight to Mooney. Mooney uncontested, passing down to Pyro. Pyro quickly up to Enderslot. Enderslot going for the shot. Late Toast denying that amazing execution by Space Force.
Yeah, great save there by Late Toast, putting his hands in the air like he just doesn't care. Except he does, because he obviously made the save, and going back to goal now is Late Toast trying to stop another point here, but it will not be stopped this time, as Enderslot able to put it in the net for another 2 points here for Space Force.
Bringing us down to 7-point differential. If Space Force can keep up that great passing play, they could definitely make up this ground and make this, you know, essentially a tied game, or even slightly in their favor by the end of the quarter. Unless Tint here plays it even stronger, you know, they could keep their lead, try and, you know, this is a good time to maybe try and kill some time, get that extra goal right there when you can. But as I was saying, they're in that lead now, 10-point lead. Good opportunity to try and maybe pass the disc around and conserve your energy a bit before striking hard again to widen that score gap.
And Space Force now back with the Joust advantage. Anime grabbing this, has the quarterback going off to the right side to Mooney. Mooney's going to look for a pass over to Pyro. Pyro looking for a pass out to the middle towards Anime, but Enderslot's going to pick it up, trying to pass it over to the right side, but Rad Nathan's going to pick it up and throw it down to the other end. Disc now floating mid-air. Who's going to get to it first? It looks like it's going to be Guygasm, as Mooney just barely missing it, but he's going to miss the net off the shot. Lucky break there for Mooney Y.
Now back into the hands of Guygasm. Guygasm, quick pass to Late Toast, just missing his hands, leaving that disc up for grabs. Once again in that top corner, floating into the tunnel, but Late Toast right there to grab that disc, keeping possession by Enderslot right there to intercept that quick pass, keeping the disc floating towards Tint's bubble. This is an opportunity for Space Force if they can get together and boost down first. Looks like it's
Here comes Anime.
going to be Anime. Anime, open goal, gets it in 4-3.
That disc was slowly going into more and more perfect spot there for Space Force to grab it. Anime just getting enough speed over Tint to get to the disc first and put it in behind the bubble.
Just under 3 minutes left in this third quarter. It's going to be White Dragon with the disc quickly over to Rad Nathan. Rad right away over to Late Toast. Late Toast passing it back towards Nathan, but just missing it, going into the hands of Enderslot, who is now reversing that direction, going for that ceiling shot, but bouncing just off the cloud, as some of us call it up there, as it goes down into the hands of Guygasm, looking for those passes to his teammates. Down to Rad Nathan. Rad Nathan gonna clear over, to Late Toast, keeping control of that disc, even with attackers. Disc now gonna bounce off the wall, going into the hands of Enderslot.
And now this might just go in the net. Ooh, just missing barely from my point of view. Pyro going for another shot here, but Guygasm there waiting for the disc to come to him, and he is able to grab it and pass it over to Rad Nathan, who's going to get it down to the other end with the clear, but intercepted by Mooney, as we've seen all game. Mooney's going to grab it, looking for a pass, taking his time, passing it closely by to Pyro. Pyro getting a stun on the way, passing it to Anime on the left side. Anime trying to get it back to Pyro, but hitting the block, and White Dragon able to get a clear off a slap. A great clear, might I add, but Mooney is down at the other end waiting for this, but missing it here. Might cost him here as Late Toast with a very, very, very... I was gonna say skinny shot. It's not a skinny shot. It's a tight shot. That's the one. That's the word I'm looking for.
It's a skinny shot now. I'm gonna say that next time. Look at that skinny shot. That's how it's gonna be. Mooney with a great pass over to Pyro Polar Bear. Pyro Polar Bear going, he's got a 2-on-1, going for that pass down to Enderslot, but White Dragon ready to read that pass and intercept it and clear it right down to Space Force Bubble. Ooh, Late Toast just missing that disc, getting stunned out. Pyro Polar Bear will clear it down to midfield, where Rad Nathan is ready to pick it up. Getting that collected by Anime. Anime getting it cleared downfield. Now it's going to be a race for the disc. Floating right down to Tin's Bubble. It's going to be White Dragon getting there quickly for that clear down to the tunnel to Late Toast, who is ready. Late Toast going for that half-court 3-shot, bouncing off the backboard, but just missing the goal, unfortunately. Guygasm defending his attacker is getting the disc getting picked up by Space Force and cleared down. Now bouncing into the bubble. This could be very dangerous. Ooh, but just dinging off the ring.
It looks like that will do it unless Anime can get a quick shot off here, but no, it will be saved by White Dragon. That will do it for the third quarter. Score for Tint is 46 and for Space Force 37. I think this game is gonna end up very, very close.
Yes, this is. Sorry, as I was saying that, I'm reading the chat, and someone's Death Troller. Look at Space Force with the skinny shots and the fat shot. Oh, see, it's told you it's gonna be skinny shots now. It's too late now. That can of worms is open.
Well, I guess so.
It's all right. We can make new lingo for the Conquest series. We can have our own things. I don't see why not.
Taking a quick look at the mid-quarter stats here, White Dragon and Late Toast with 14 for Dragon and 13 for Toast on Tint. Doing great on offense, but of course on defense here for Tint, we've got, Rad Nathan with an incredible amount of saves at 4 and 3 for the rest of the team. So great team defense here. As I was saying, Nathan with 6 assists is what I was trying to say before. And for Space Force, we've got Mooney with his always impressive high numbers of saves with 12 and goals across the board for Anime for Life and Enderslot.
Wow, 12 saves. It's not too odd. It's so weird seeing some of these numbers in double digits that you normally wouldn't see so high. And that will be Space Force with that initial joust there. That's 2 in a row for them.
Maybe a sign.
Maybe it is a sign. We have a 9-point deficit, which is absolutely peanuts when you have 14 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Great pass to Enderslot. Enderslot getting that cleared down, going just over the goalie's hands. If they can boost down, they could close this score gap a little more, and Pyro Polar Bear will do just that with a flailing, spinning inside shot.
That was almost a 1v4 there going towards the net for Pyro. If he was stunned out at just the wrong moment, it definitely could have gone in a different direction for that goal specifically. Great play there by Pyro.
Definitely a great fast start again for Space Force, just like last time, which is what they need. But now this could be... I didn't see the second defender in the bubble there, but we do now have a Tint with their forces spread out under the goal. Go for that backboard shot, but not getting it past Mooney. Not this time.
Excuse me, I'm just like, I was looking from behind the net, and as the two Tint players were below the net. Oh, there might be a goal here.
That was so close. I had a great camera angle for a great highlight. Still a great highlight for a save.
Yeah, but I was trying to say that Mooney had some great body language as he was pointing down, and a shot off the post here for Space Force, just inside the bubble.
That was a tough shot because they were moving, drifting in a different direction, so it was hard to, I guess they didn't compensate enough for that momentum. But he compensated.
Able to get the pass from Ender.
12, 11, 10, 9.
Joust advantage will be to There Is No Team. Back to a 5-point lead for Tint. See what they do with this Joust advantage.
Here we go. Orange clears it out of their zone.
Great pass around the defenders. Pyro getting it, but getting quickly stunned. Slapping it back to the hands of Guygasm. Guygasm quickly forward to Late Toast. Late Toast going in towards Mooney. Mooney saving it, but getting it taken. And you can see the disappointment in Mooney. The sad face, the hands in the air. Oh, it's all right, Mooney. You have lots of time left. Just advantage to Space Force.
4, 3, 2, 1. Teams have cleared the launcher.
Anime with the quick pass off to Mooney in the tunnel. Mooney down across the floor, but bouncing off the wall of the trench, allowing Tint to possibly collect it, and it looks like it will be collected. Slapped down, but Enderslot will recover that disc for Space Force. Passing it across over to Anime. Anime getting that disc stolen by Mooney, sneaking up from behind, clearing it downfield. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Mooney. I do apologize. Now into the hands of Rad Nathan. Nathan going into the bubble towards cut pass to Guygasm and in for 2.
Get to your launcher. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Joust advantage to Space Force. Let's see what they come up with. They're only behind by 9 points in this fourth and final quarter of the game. Mooney now floating down, waving the disc, telling his teammates to move forward possibly, maybe waving. Going for that quick cut pass over to Pyro, but just above his reach, unfortunately, into the hands of White Dragon, who clears it back down to Space Force side of the arena. Guygasm going for that shot on the open goal, going just shy to the left of the goal. Great clear out by Pyro Polar Bear, sorry, getting it down back to Tint's side of the arena. Both teams boosting up. It's going to be Guygasm, quickly contested, but he manages to throw it to the top pocket here, where Anime will pick it up, trying to recollect it for Space Force. Great read and intercept by Guygasm, who's already boosted with Nathan, ready to boost to try and take advantage, but Mooney not allowing that, getting to the disc before they can boost to it. White Dragon trying to clear through the tunnel, but bouncing down into the pocket. Looks like it's going to be just a fight for the disc in the pocket here. Now getting down to Rad Nathan. Rad Nathan has some attackers trying to pass it over to his teammates, who boost by it just a little too quickly, but Guygasm able to recover and tap it to the ceiling, just to be picked up by Enderslot. Enderslot being stunned out by Guygasm, taking that disc back for Tint. Tint moving forward, great pass work down the field, going for that pass, but just missing Nathan on the post, allowing Mooney to slap it out and get Pyro Polar Bear possession of that disc, going for that ceiling boop shot, but just going shy to the left of the goal. Pyro passing it to Enderslot. Enderslot passing it back to Pyro, but getting intercepted by Guygasm, who flips it up to the ceiling, where White Dragon is hoping to recover it. And it's going to actually be recovered by Space Force, tapping it out. But Guygasm quickly ready to recover that disc back for Tint. Down to White Dragon. White Dragon has a 1-on-2 situation here, waiting for his teammates to get closer. Great pass to Guygasm, but bouncing off the geometry. Enderslot stunning him out. Space Force can't afford any points to be had on them right at this moment. Guys, I'm with the pass over to White Dragon. White Dragon pass over to Rad Nathan. Rad Nathan going for that shot to the bottom pocket, but just missing the goal. Pyro able to collect the disc and attempt to clear it down, but just bouncing, unfortunately. However, a great slap down will continue that disc momentum towards Tint's side of the field. Up for grabs now, it's gonna be Anime. Anime getting stunned out by Guygasm. Rad Nathan now grabbing the disc, flinging it down towards Space Force, but bouncing right back to him for that self pass. Realizing has no defenders, going for a pass to his teammate just off the button. Now pass to Guygasm. Guygasm with that pass down to Nathan. Nathan off the backboard, not going in. Going for that shot. Guygasm passing to Nathan. Nathan seeing all the attackers, getting to Guygasm, hanging off the ring for 2 points.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Joust advantage to Space Force.
3.
We are at an 11-point difference. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remaining.
We're underway. Blue clears it out.
Mooney waiting for his teammates. Oh, going for that pass, but Guygasm, like a ninja, springing down off the barrier to intercept that pass. Ooh, open goal shot for Guygasm, and he'll get it in for 3.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Joust advantage back to Space Force with while Tint slowly widening that point gap to a 14-point differential. Still 7 minutes left in this fourth and final quarter. Enderslot for that pass downfield, getting intercepted by Nathan, but Pyro re-intercepting that disc, going down to that trench throw, bouncing off the wall here. Could be an opportunity for his team to collect and get in position. Anime will get the disc. Great pass to Pyro. Pyro going in for that shot. Late toast, denying the goal. Clearing that disc down to the tunnel, clearing it all the way down to where Mooney is waiting for that intercept. Great play there for Pyro and Mooney to stack up before the clear, but it did go back into the hands of Tint, who has got it back to Space Force end, where Mooney, getting stunned as quickly as he can throw it, gets the disc down to Tint's bubble, where it's going to be picked up by White Dragon. Continuing this ping pong match back and forth between the backline defense right there. This could be the change of momentum. Guygasm picking it up and swooping it in for 2.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Joust advantage to Space Force.
Here we go.
Ooh, going for the pass, just missing the teammate and getting into the hands of Guygasm. Guygasm going for the clear, bouncing off the geometry, allowing Mooney to pick that disc up and clear, but White Dragon right there ready to grab as he jukes out his attackers. Passing it to Guygasm and Rad Nathan, who are stacked, ready to go after that clear. But Mooney right there very quickly, ready to grab that disc and get it out of the bubble. Ooh, late toast to Rad Nathan. Rad Nathan into the goal for 2 for Tint. Bringing them up to an 18-point lead in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Blue clears it out.
Great start pass to Pyro. Pyro going for that passer clear. I'm not really sure there. Perhaps he was expecting a teammate to be there, but it was collected by Guygasm, clearing it downfield to where Rad Nathan is ready to pick it up, but Anime for Life is even more ready for that steal and ready to clear over Guygasm's head as he attacks. This could be an opportunity for Space Force. Pyro Polar Bear with the disc, resetting back to Anime. Anime going for a pass to Enderslot on the post, and Ender in the goal for 2 points for Space Force. Down to a 16-point differential. A little over 4 minutes left. It is still doable, but Space Force is going to have to execute their plays almost flawlessly at this point.
And
It's gonna be White Dragon picking up for the pass, but Pyro Polar Bear there ready to intercept. Going for that 3-point shot, just a little shy. That would have been exactly what Space Force needed. This could be it too if they can recollect. Anime going for that shot, just missing the goal ever so slightly. Nathan getting the disc out, but it bounces off the trench into the hands of Mooney. Mooney passing it over to Pyro. Pyro trying to get that pass to Anime, but just leading him a little too much. Ender is able to recollect over to Pyro. Oh, it may be stolen by accident. I'm not sure, but either way, 2 more points for Space Force. And hello, Soisy. Welcome to the stream. This is Echo Arena Conquest Series. This is an off-season event that was planned to trial a new format for Echo Arena to kind of try and push the limits of the meta, so to speak. So this format is 4 15-minute quarters with an 8-minute halftime. Also, stricter rules on being late for the game to ensure games start as on time as possible. There are more changes to come in the future that have not been implemented as we are testing kind of one phase at a time. Great pass to Pyro. Pyro in the goal for 2, closing that point gap by another 2 points, bringing it down to only 12 points. Another change there is the I forget what I was gonna say now. Oh, the score carrying over, as you might have noticed, the higher score points, as the Mercy is now 35 points and the scores carry over the entire 1 hour of gameplay.
Technical issues as my Bluetooth decided to stop working in its entirety. We're back. I'm not currently in the game, so I'm watching the stream at the same time as you guys. Damn big way.
All right, perfect. We have, let me catch up here. I was a little sidetracked there. So Guygasm with the disc going for a shot, just missing the bottom of the goal. Nathan with the disc going for the backboard shot, and he will connect with the goal for that 2 points.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Joust advantage to Space Force. Anime for life with a quick, solid pass to Mooney in the tunnel. We've seen this rollout a few times from Space Force, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Will it work this time? Over to Ender. Ooh, Pyro getting stunned out by Guygasm. Oh, but Ender's not picking up. Go great pass to Mooney behind the goal, trying to go to the end, but just dinging off the ring, unfortunately. Anime trying again, but getting stunned out. Just a flurry of stuns. Tint playing some hard defense, trying not to allow Space Force any more goals in this round, but Space Force is not backing down, and Guygasm will get a clear out finally, down all the way to Space Force bubble, where Guygasm is boosting, but he's quickly got a trail. It will evade all players here until Guygasm picks up for that shot from up above for 3-4 Tint. At this point, there would be not enough time for anyone to come back from Space Force. 23 seconds left with a 17-point differential. I believe my quick math is correct. So this last 15 seconds will just be an opportunity for Space Force to try and close that gap by 1 more goal. Can they do it? Mooney with the disc logo going for that shot, but getting stunned out. And it looks like this game will go to Tint at 64-47. All right, flipping over to the scoreboard for your end of game statistics. All right, we have over on There Is No Team point leader Guygasm with 20 points. All the teams in double digits for points. We have 15 to Late Toast, 14 to White Dragon, and 13 to Rad Nathan. 8 assists to Rad Nathan, 4 apiece to Guygasm and White Dragon, 2 to Late Toast. Saves across the board. Rad Nathan with 6, White Dragon with 5, Late Toast and Guygasm with 4 apiece. Steals, we have 4 to Guygasm, 2 to White Dragon, 1 to Late Toast. Stuns across the board with Guygasm with 131 himself. I think that might be the new EACS record for stuns. I think the last one was 117 or 120, somewhere around there. Nonetheless, it is still a lot of stuns. Excuse me. Looking over at Space Force, we have 14 goals apiece to Anime for Life and Pyro Polar Bear, 13 to Enderslot, and 4 to Mooney. Assists, we have 4 apiece to Anime and Enderslot, 2 to Pyro, and 1 to Mooney. And saves, we have a whopping 16 saves to Mooney. 4 to Pyro and 3 to Anime. Steals, we have 5 to Anime, 2 apiece to Enderslot and Pyro Polar Bear, and 1 to Mooney. And again, stuns across the board with Enderslot breaking that triple digits to 109 stuns. I see we have Mamba joining us in the chat as well. Thank you for joining and catching the end of that game. I will bring up the bracket for our VRML players if you momentarily give me a moment. Now the bottom is cut off of this, but so that is our lineup here. As you can see, as of now, the future matches aren't scheduled, but as soon as they are, they will be posted in our server. If you are not in the server already, you can join us by going to the Echo Games server. And in the community news, there was an announcement made with our Discord server link. If you'd like to see future organizations of this series, if you want to possibly be involved in the next one, want to give your feedback after the tournament, all the survey links and stuff will be given out through our EACS server. If there is no questions from the Twitch audience, I will give you 20, 30 seconds there to type a question in chat. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed watching and casting. I feel like I should have a Jeopardy theme song here. Do 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 do. All right, so if there is no Twitch questions until I say the end of my spiel, thank you once again, everyone, for joining. Thank you, VR Master League, for producing this for us. Thank you to the players, the viewers. Thank you to the EACS moderators, everyone involved in helping make this happen. I have been Dano McFabulous. That was Katie earlier on. And thank you once again for tuning in to Echo Arena Conquest Series. And we will see you next time.